Hi everyone, it's Gemma here, author of Beyond the Mind. I hope you're all well. So today I want to talk to you about being mindful. Now, mindfulness is one of the most important things you could ever learn in your life, and I'm going to tell you why. So basically, on a day-to-day basis, as humans, we have the habit of thinking in our unconscious mind pretty much throughout the whole day, unless we're focusing on something in specific. So if we have a negative thought come across us throughout our day, that's generally linked to either a bad memory or something that we may have heard or spoken about in the past. It's rarely relevant to the present moment. Some of these memories and some of this thought process that we go through can trigger horrible feelings in our bodies. So we can suffer from anxiety, we get stressed, we get a racing heart. So the physical effects, racing heart, sweating, panic attacks, we can get tingly hands. Some people come up in rashes and can get itchy. All of these physical effects are the result of stress and anxiety. And stress and anxiety is simply the result of a thought. So when we think about something, our brains will send signals into our body relating to that thought. And from time to time, those signals are negative. Our brain is like, oh my God, I remember that was a really bad experience. And then your body just goes into panic mode. Now, the reason we do this is because our brains don't know the difference between a thought and reality. So if you close your eyes and you imagine cutting a lemon in half and then sucking on the inside of that lemon, and you really think about it in detail, your mouth is going to water. My mouth's watering now just thinking about it. Now, the reason your body does that is because your brain is sending signals into your body to prepare to digest the acids in the lemon. Your mouth gets watery, ready to chew and swallow. It's just how our brains work. So if you sit there and you reminisce over a bad experience that you've had in the past, whether it's losing somebody, whether it's an illness, just some kind of tragedy or trauma that you've experienced, your brain thinks that you're reliving that experience, and that's why our body goes into shock. Our body goes into all these horrible feelings because our brain thinks that that's what's happening. Now, being mindful is being aware of what you're thinking about. We don't wake up in the morning and purposely sit there and go, right, today I'm going to think of really horrible things. We don't do that. That's a subconscious thought because most of our lives, we spend our lives living in our memory. Memorized set of thoughts and behaviours. So if we can learn to be more mindful and aware about what we're thinking about, we can then start to change the way that we feel. So an emotion is the result of a thought. So if you think about something bad, if you can change that thought in the first 90 seconds, you can prevent that thought from turning into an emotion. So it takes 90 seconds. I say only, that's actually quite a long time to be able to. If you start to remind yourself this on a daily basis, every time something bad pops in your mind, you can then think, right, I've got 90 seconds to change this before any feelings are going to kick in. Any physical reaction to that thought isn't going to happen if we can stop that thought in its tracks and divert our attention to something else. And this is where meditation comes in. So if you can learn to practice meditation, now when I say meditation, I don't mean necessarily sat there with your legs crossed on a beach or on the top of a mountain. I simply mean closing your eyes and focusing on something such as your breathing, even if it's just for 2 minutes. And what that does is it diverts your attention away from the negative thought that you're having before your body has chance to kick in with all these horrible emotions and physical feelings. So from now on, one thing that I want everyone to do that may be struggling with something like anxiety, depression or stress, I want you to remind yourself that an emotion and a physical feeling, physical reaction from that emotion is all related to simply a thought. And remind yourself that you have 90 seconds to change your thought before any emotion is going to kick in, and that an emotion is simply a chemical reaction that your brain sends to your body. If you can remind yourself those 3 things on a daily basis, that is being mindful, and you will be able to start to create positive habits and positive ways of thinking and be able to actually stop yourself from subconsciously having all these bad thoughts. Your brain has fallen into a habit, which is a repetitive pattern of something on a daily basis. So Let's say, for instance, every morning you wake up and before you get out of bed, you're there thinking, oh, I feel rubbish, I really can't do today, I really don't want to go to work, it's going to be a really bad day. And the reason that you wake up thinking like that is because you've been doing it for so long that your body and your brain just naturally does that. You can stop that from happening, and you can create new neuropaths in your brain and create new habits and new ways of thinking, which will really, really help in your day-to-day life, and it will really enhance your future. You'll feel more fulfilled. Being like, mindfulness isn't just about changing your thought process. Changing your thought process and being mindful can change your whole life. You will start to attract positivity and attract opportunities that you may not have come across before because you thought so negatively. You will live longer, you will sleep better, everything about your life will change in a positive way. It helps in so many ways. It can prevent diseases, because stress and the impact stress has on our bodies long term can be really, really troublesome. It can cause a lot of health problems. So if we can learn to deal with stress and deal with emotions, we can learn to steer ourselves away from any forms of disease or illnesses or chronic stress and horrible symptoms that we can all get eventually if we don't deal with our problems.